right, don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all-natural products website. All right, man, we back. Goodfellow Sports TV. Let's talk about what's next for Errol Spence. A few people have been asking me, comment section, a few other places, what's going on with Errol Spence, and will he get stripped of his WBC and IBF title? Timeline for Terrence Crawford fight. What the fuck he's talking about, and all that other stuff. So let's talk about it. There's been a few examples of the IBF showing sympathy towards fighters. Lamont Peterson, he tested positive for a banned substance. The WBA stripped him of his title, I think after he beat Amir Khan. But the IBF gave him a medical exception because he proved that he had a situation. All right, I'll just keep it at that. This is privacy. And it checked out. And the IBF gave him a pass. Jamal Charlo, I think he was ordered to fight Julian J. Rock Williams. And the narrative that J. Rock and them was pushing was that Jamal Charlo was ducking them, or he was flushing steroids out of his system. And the narrative that I got from it was, and he was saying that he wasn't sure he can make the weight no more, and he was thinking about moving up. And J. Rock could have got a shot at a vacant title, but he kept running his fucking mouth. And he kept choosing Jamal Charlo or Royce. But the reason Jamal Charlo was really waiting out, he got a medical exception because he was deemed legally blind. So he had LASIK surgery, and he didn't want people knowing his business. So the IBF gave him a medical exception. So they give out medical exceptions. Obviously, we know, they have an interim belt as well too. Because Caleb Plant, I think, or Uzataki held the IBF interim belt, and James DeGale, he vacated when he had to fight Uzataki, and Uzataki became the full champion. So there are examples of the IBF showing leniency. We know the WBC is very lenient in that own division. Keith Thurman got to hold the title. He didn't make one title defense neither. I believe after he beat Danny Garcia, he sat out for like 22 months or whatever it was, 20 months. So at the end of the day, if the WBC strip Errol, that'd just be a huge inconsistency, because Keith Thurman didn't have a title defense neither, I don't believe. I think Danny was his last fight, and that was a big fight for him. He won it, but and it depends on Errol Smith's medical records. At the end of the day, he may jump in and go on the deep end when he get back. Nobody knows the extent of his injury. No bones broken. He might have missing a few teeth. So he got an oral surgery. He might have to get some implants and stuff of that nature. So it's up to him. Depending on how he feels in training, or if he got some tension or some it depends on how physical therapy goes for him. But I don't imagine him being stripped of his title. He walked out, but probably not even 24 hours later, out the hospital. You know what I'm saying? But then again, there are situations where they miss some things, and he might have to go and get some things tweaked. He might see a chiropractor, massage therapist. He might have to, fix some things. But other than that, I don't envision a point where he'll be stripped of his titles. I don't see that. Unless he just say, I don't want to, fight right now, and I get my titles up. But I doubt that he worked too hard to get the IBF and the WBC title. So, at the end of the day, the WBC will probably put out an interim title. Or they can make him champion in recess. The IBF could put an interim title out, or they can make him champion in recess, which I haven't really heard the IBF do that before. Errol Spence held the IBF for a couple years now, so I think he built up enough clout with them. But at the end of the day, the WBC can put out an interim bout. Now, it's talks that the WBC, they want to work with the WBO. Excuse me real quick. I don't know why this shit doing that. They want to work with the WBO to force Crawford and Spence to fight. What they could do is order Terrence Crawford to fight Danny Garcia for the WBC interim title. They could do that. And if they do that, it makes sense. Now, Crawford couldn't fight the Mean Machine no more, because at the end of the day, they wait until the 23rd hour or the 24th hour to announce that fight. You know, they wait until the 24th hour to announce that fight once again. So he would have to just go right into a Danny Garcia fight, and go over to Fox PBC and fight Crawford. Fight Danny Garcia. Now then again, you know, it's up to PBC to get him a respectable offer. It's up to Terrence Crawford to be willing and able to fight Danny Garcia. It's up to Danny Garcia to be willing and able to fight Terrence Crawford. Now, is it a chance that Errol Spence could make it back in time to fight Danny Garcia? Maybe they can kind of, you know, prorate the fight or move the fight back or whatever the situation may be. Yeah. He may, at the end of the day, he didn't suffer no real broken bones. He could fight Danny Garcia maybe in February or March instead of January. So he got a long wait till January, you know, but I don't imagine that happening. But if they did want to actually make this Crawford and Spence fight happen, Danny Garcia and Terrence Crawford for the interim belt. But I don't envision that happening. I think you're going to get Ugas and Danny Garcia for an interim belt, and the winner come back and fight Errol Spence later, whenever you're ready, later in 2020. And it kind of messes up the timeline for Errol Spence, you know, because he got 2 mandatories, and next year he lucky to squeeze in 2 fights. So either he gonna squeeze in his WBC mandatory, which is supposed to be quote unquote Danny Garcia right now, and that can happen. And then he got an IBF mandatory, so then you looking at Pacquiao 2021. But the word on the street is Pacquiao don't want to fight beyond 2020. And it sounds like, I think Floyd Mayweather Sr. did an interview on Fight Hype. It sounds like Floyd is probably actually fully retired, and you know, it's not gonna come back and fight Pacquiao. So at the end of the day, Pacquiao might lay it to rest after 2020. Now the IBF don't take step aside money, so all this might be playing out the way Pacquiao wanted to play out. So Errol not being able to fight Pacquiao in 2020, and Pacquiao supposed to be his last year fight in 2020, no Floyd. So Errol might miss out on that opportunity unless Pacquiao hang out longer than 2020. So this got a big impact on what he want to do, because if Pacquiao step aside and Boost Putin get that regular WBA title, then Crawford would bring 2 titles to the table. If they upgrade the regular champion to super, if it go the way I'm thinking, and it'll be 2-2, and then 2021 you might get Crawford and Spence. So you know, this was huge. This was huge, in my humble opinion. This is really huge, man. And you know, and Pacquiao got a way to escape now. So it may be a situation, or they could do Danny Garcia, Ugas winner could fight Pacquiao if Errol not ready, and Pacquiao become the interim. But what I understand, Pacquiao don't want that fight, you know. And Errol might not come right back into a championship level fight. He may have to take a tune-up. So if he get a tune-up and he do come back middle of next year, then he do a WBC in the next year, then 2021 is the IBF, and then he looking at a big fight. So he kind of messed his timeline up, man. But it may be for the better, you know. It may be for the better. So it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Appreciate the love, support. Keep sharing the video. Other than that, man, don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Help Blaze, at thehelpblaze.com. Promo code GoodFellow1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products, lotion, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, deodorant, toothpaste, hair pomade, much more. Website, promo code description. One time for the one time. We gone.